The story begins with Kaio Har, a recently divorced and laid-off Unreal user. Few say, but he managed to get both in the same day. Between Quadros and G-forces, he swayed away from the vices of life, the dangers of CGI land, and got himself a big, shiny Colt 5090. And that, my friends, was the start of his revenge on his own self. One that had been beaten and smashed and broken to the core of his soul. But he never let go of his duty to push pixels in an orderly manner to please the eye of the viewer. So armed with Lumen and Nanite, an Unreal belt of tools and some slim slice of momentum, he decided to go all in his search for what he and the usual bad types call the real-time cinematic automotive product. Kaio, as all bad types, has his own peculiar way of getting things done in the New West. He first starts by laying down a soundscape for all things he wants to happen, so they can exist in the sound realm, to then, later on in his bad type plans, manifest in the visual realm. And this is how his bad type monitor shows him his aberration of creation. With that said, my noble friends, this narrator cannot put into words what comes next. Kaio believes he can produce a 90-second long piece. Then, untrusted by his own guts, he violently cut down the length to 1 minute. And of course, he went on to chop another 30 seconds to be left with the usual 30-second-ish ad thing. But then, something fantastic happened. Something so wonderful that he spent the next several weeks working the days and nights of his degenerate life. He edited a monster on top of his recently created pre-mixed soundscape, utilizing some of the victims' past campaigns so he could inspire his 3D shots from and block them with his Unreal tools. With some of the shots blocked, he then proceeded to fix all the pesky problems that his desires brought together with him. Day and night, as long as there was a popping shadow on a leaf of a coyote bush, Kaio was there, giving his heart out to mitigate that kind of unacceptable mistake. Choreographing his virtual motorized vehicle, licensed of course, and virtual cameras provided by his modern suite of non-physical gadgets through the carefully built environments he created. Kaio was closer and closer to find himself further away from his goal than when he started. That's when he filled his lungs with air, his heart with his hot tropical European blood, and his stomach with enough coffee for a month, and went on the peregrine path of finishing the film at the best of his ability. And that's what he did.